Rain fell in sheets over the rooftops of Vharanor Quarter, the city's district of gilded spires and silk-laden balconies. Lanterns swung in the wind, casting long shadows that twisted and flickered against the soaked cobblestones below. The fog clung thickly between the buildings, curling over rooftops and winding through alleys, hiding the city's secrets. Kael crouched atop a high parapet, his coat soaked through, boots slipping on slick tiles. Below him the streets were nearly empty. Only a few lantern-lit patrols of watchguards moved with stiff precision, their polished boots clattering against the cobblestones. The mark pulsed faintly beneath his glove, guiding him toward the estate where Lady Korr hid her operations. He took a slow breath, tasting the copper tang of rain and rust. Somewhere within the maze of rooftops, servants and courtiers were moving, their voices muffled by fog, unaware that Kael was already watching, invisible, unseen. Kael's first task was to cross the rooftops unnoticed. He leapt from a wet tile to a rafter, fingers gripping the edge as a lantern swayed beneath him. The wind tugged at his coat, threatening to unbalance him, but his mark pulsed with guiding light, showing subtle echoes of motion below. Through the fog, Kael could see the estate's perimeter guards, armored, armed, patrolling in pairs. Their exoskeletons gave them unnatural height, the boots clanking like hammers. Each carried a steam-driven lantern with a faint magical glow, illuminating patches of the mist. Kael waited, studying their patterns. He blinked. A short teleportation across shadowed distances, placing him atop a narrow balcony just out of view. A guard turned, lantern swinging dangerously close, but Kael melted into a shadow behind the balustrade. The city watches, but it does not see me. Kael scaled a metal trellis beside the main estate, water dripping into his eyes. The fog made sound travel strangely. Every drop of water sounded amplified, every distant shout resonating like thunder. At the roofline, he paused, listening. Inside the estate, faint voices. Korr's scientists and courtiers discussing shipments, crystal experiments, and the mysterious, silent air. Kael's pulse quickened. Mira was here, the princess he had sworn to protect, now trapped in this gilded labyrinth. He slipped through a ventilation shaft, squeezing past rusted metal and thick cobwebs, his coat brushing wet walls. The shaft led to a balcony overlooking the main hall, where Lady Korr herself stood, examining a map of crystal shipments and barons' territories. She hasn't noticed the death in the forge yet. She thinks the city still bends to her will. Kael descended into the laboratory, where faint steam hissed from crystal cores embedded in machines that hummed like sleeping beasts. Shelves lined with glowing ether vials bathed the room in cold blue light. He noticed the marks etched on the floors, arcane symbols for channeling crystal energy. He had to move quickly. Guards patrolled the hallways, unaware of the echo of movement that his mark allowed him to exploit. He blinked across the room, appearing behind a pair of scientists, their conversation frozen for a heartbeat, allowing Kael to silently knock them unconscious. A crystal shard nearby pulsed in resonance with his mark. Kael hesitated. Touching it briefly, he felt visions. the princess being carried through hidden passageways, her small hands grasping a soft silk doll, eyes wide with fear. She was alive, for now. Kael moved carefully through corridors, avoiding detection. A patrol of 4 guards approached. He dropped into shadow, blinking rapidly between pillars, positioning himself behind the nearest. With one sharp motion, he slit the first guard's throat, the knife muffling the gurgle. The others reacted, rifles raised. The mark pulsed. Kael extended his hand. Time slowed for a heartbeat, the guards frozen mid-step, rifles aimed uselessly. He darted past them, a blue streak in the mist, slicing the next 2 with precision. The 4th tried to flee. Kael blinked across the hall, pinning him silently against the wall. Behind Lady Korr's estate, Kael found a trapdoor, almost invisible beneath overgrown ivy and rain-soaked tiles. Prying it open revealed a steep, winding stairwell leading into hidden catacombs, tunnels connecting Vharanor Quarter to the Undercity, possibly used to move the princess unseen. He descended cautiously, water pooling at each step. The air smelled of mold, wet stone, and faint crystal energy. Symbols etched in the walls glowed faintly, pulsing like a heartbeat. Kael paused. Faint whispers echoed in the corridors, voices of those long dead, possibly ether echoes left behind by past experiments. He touched the mark, focusing, and they dissipated, leaving only his footsteps and the distant sound of rushing water. At the far end of the catacombs, he reached a sealed chamber. Inside, Lady Korr tended to her crystals, muttering softly, her red silk sleeves smeared with ash and crystal residue. She hadn't expected an intruder. "I should have known the Empress's dog wouldn't stay buried," Korr hissed. "But you're too late. The princess, she is already gone." Kael's heart tightened. Rage and determination surged. He lunged, but Korr raised a crystal energy barrier, shimmering blue. Kael blinked rapidly, teleporting across the room, dodging shards of energy as she struck. His dagger sliced a chain holding an unstable crystal vial. It exploded, blinding her temporarily in radiant light. Kael closed the distance, finally slashing her coat, disarming her of a small crystal baton. She fell back, snarling, but did not die. "This isn't over," she spat, backing toward a hidden exit. "You can't save her." "You won't even know who's pulling the strings until it's too late." Kael watched her disappear into the shadows, cursed by his own helplessness. The princess was gone again, and the deeper conspiracy was revealed piece by piece. Kael retraced his path through the catacombs, emerging into flooded streets of the outer Vharanor Quarter. Steam hissed from broken pipes, puddles reflected flickering lanterns, and rats scuttled across soaked cobblestones. He paused on a rooftop, staring at the glow of Baron Fell's burning forge in the distance, the city stretching endlessly toward the palace. The rain fell heavier now, fog curling around him like a living thing. The princess is alive, but the trail is growing colder. Drax is still out there. And now, Lady Korr has vanished into the veins of the city, carrying secrets that could unravel everything. Kael's hands were streaked with mud, blood, and the first taste of killing. His mark glowed brighter, pulsing with power, urging him forward. One by one, he whispered, I will uncover the truth, and I will make them all pay.